Broken world, shared enemy. The sky above Earth split open with a silent scream. One moment, the world buzzed with its usual chaos, political squabbles, trade disputes, border standoffs, and 1,000 different agendas. The next, everything stopped. Every screen, satellite, and orbital feed went black. Then came the message. A towering, scaled figure appeared, tall, regal, and draped in armor that shimmered like liquid night. Its voice echoed in every tongue known to humankind. We are the Valkyrie Ascendancy. Your world is ours. Surrender your sovereignty. Resistance will bring extermination. The broadcast looped again and again. Panic took root instantly. The United Nations emergency chamber flooded with voices, some demanding surrender, others blaming rivals, a few screaming for war. Old grudges surfaced. Economic feuds, territorial disputes, long-held bitterness. No one trusted anyone. No one agreed on a response. Earth fractured along its familiar fault lines. In Washington, the president ordered a limited defense posture. In Beijing, leaders discussed isolationist retreat. In Brussels, the European Union debated evacuation protocols. And in New Delhi, satellites blinked offline one by one as the Valkyrie began disrupting Earth's orbital grid. That's when the first strike came. A Valkyrie destroyer, sleek and silent, unleashed a column of plasma over Tokyo. Skyscrapers melted. Streets vanished. Over 100,000 lives were gone in an instant. The message was clear. This wasn't negotiation. It was conquest. And Earth was not ready until someone lit the match. Across the globe, screens flickered again. A new broadcast hijacked the alien signal. No government insignia. No anthem. Just a young woman, maybe 20, standing in front of a ruined apartment block in Nairobi. Her name was Alina Omondi, a former systems engineer, orphaned by drone strikes, now a digital ghost in the global net. Her voice shook, but not from fear. They came because we are divided. They thought we were too busy fighting each other to fight back. But I've seen war. I've seen what we can do when we have to stand together. I don't care what flag you salute or what god you pray to. Earth is under attack. We don't have nations anymore. We have one planet. And if we don't stand as one, we'll fall alone. The feed cut. But the damage was done, not to Earth, but to its divisions. Within hours, millions shared a message. Soldiers who once faced each other across borders now exchanged messages, coordinating, organizing. Scientists released closed-source weapons research for global defense. Civilians volunteered. Hackers jammed Valkyrie signals and turned Earth's internet into a weapon. In Geneva, diplomats abandoned deadlocked talks. In their place, generals, engineers, and civilians formed something new, the Global War Council. No more red tape. No more politics. Only survival. As the second wave of Valkyrie ships entered orbit, something unexpected happened. For the first time in history, Earth spoke with one voice. And it growled. When Earth roared, the first real counterattack began in Lagos. Valkyrie drop pods screamed through the atmosphere, aiming for industrial hubs. But they didn't expect resistance. They thought humanity would scatter like frightened prey. Instead, they landed in a trap. Nigerian militia fighters, now folded into the new Terran Defense Force, TDF, used makeshift railguns built from repurposed maglev trains. The moment the pods hit the ground, bolts of metal ripped through the alien armor before the hatches even opened. Explosives fashioned from mining charges collapsed buildings onto the invaders. Drones made from recycled delivery bots dropped thermite onto Valkyrie troops as they tried to regroup. The message from Earth was unmistakable. You're not welcome here. That scene played out again and again. Rio, Mumbai, Istanbul, Cape Town. Everywhere the Valkyrie touched down, Earth bit back. Not with polished fleets or precision strikes, but with ingenuity, grit, and rage. Above it all, the Global War Council coordinated from an orbital platform, Unity 1, built in record time from pieces of abandoned space stations. It was crude, patched together with Russian, American, and Chinese tech, but it worked. General Sophia Hart, a grizzled veteran of the Pacific conflict, stood at the helm of the TDF. Her orders were short, brutal, and effective. No bureaucracy, no delays. If it bleeds, we can kill it. Find what works, then teach the rest. Humanity shared everything: tactics, data, victories, losses. When one squad discovered that Valkyrie armor cracked under extreme cold, cryoweapons were rushed to Arctic fronts. When another figured out that alien plasma rifles overheated under Earth's gravity, engineers exploited the flaw and built jamming tools from salvaged microchips. Even AI systems once restricted to corporate defense now ran Earth's battle logistics, predicting alien movements, coordinating troop movements, and optimizing supply chains. For the first time, the planet's greatest minds worked on the same side. In the Ural Mountains, Earth scored its first major breakthrough. A Valkyrie command ship, downed by a swarm of kamikaze drones, crash-landed in a frozen ravine. TDF forces stormed it and captured the first live Valkyrie officer, a towering, six-limbed reptilian named Commander Zeldar. Under interrogation, the truth spilled out. The Valkyrie hadn't come to negotiate or even enslave. Earth had been marked as a soft conquest, a fractured world with no central defense, ripe for stripping and abandonment. You were nothing, Zeldar snarled. Not even worth fear. General Hart's reply was simple: then start fearing. Days later, Earth's first orbital strike was launched from a retrofitted mining platform. A kinetic rod, just tungsten and gravity, punched a hole through a Valkyrie forward base on Ganymede. No energy weapons, no fancy tech, just raw, human simplicity. The galaxy took notice. Earth wasn't just resisting. Earth was hunting. Deathworld unleashed. The first human-built warship wasn't pretty. It was a former asteroid miner called Hammerfall, wrapped in titanium plates, bristling with railguns, and powered by a fusion core that had once heated a Martian colony. It shuddered when it turned. Its targeting systems needed manual overrides. But it worked, and in its maiden voyage, Hammerfall ambushed and destroyed a Valkyrie cruiser 3 times its size. That changed everything. In shipyards above Earth, Mars, and Luna, engineers worked day and night. Civilian craft were stripped and reforged into gunboats. Orbital elevators were fitted with mass drivers. Entire swarms of drones, launched from carrier ships made of old cargo hulls, screamed through space faster than Valkyrie defenses could react. What the Valkyrie couldn't understand, what no empire ever could, was that humans adapted faster than any species they'd ever faced. Humanity didn't match the Valkyrie tech for tech. It outthought them. When the Valkyrie deployed energy shields, human hackers fried them by spamming feedback loops. When the Valkyrie changed their communication codes, Earth's AIS broke them within hours. And when the Valkyrie sent an elite strike force to sabotage Earth shipyards on the moon, they were greeted by flamethrowers, zero-G mines, and a battalion of angry Polish Marines with shotguns. Back on Earth, something unexpected began to happen. Alien signals, strange, cautious, garbled, started appearing in Earth's net. Small rebel groups from other Valkyrie-conquered species had been listening, watching, hoping. The humans were winning. Against all odds, against all logic, the Deathwalders from Sol were fighting back, and they were hurting the Empire. The first to reach out were the Dravari, a winged species enslaved for centuries. Then came the silent, silicon-based beings whose oceans had been boiled for Valkyrie fuel. Each plea was desperate, unsure if humanity would respond. Earth's answer was loud and clear. You want freedom? Then fight with us. Not beneath us. Beside us. In a historic moment, the first Joint Strike Force, human and alien, attacked a Valkyrie command post orbiting Tau Ceti. The battle was short, brutal, and decisive. For the first time in living memory, the Valkyrie fled. The myth of the invincible empire cracked. Valkyrie strategists scrambled to understand. How could this primitive world, this death world, be toppling their fleets? They studied Earth's biosphere and were horrified. Acidic oceans, evolving viruses, apex predators on every continent, natural disasters measured in megatons, a planet designed by nature to be lethal. And from that world came a species that not only survived, but thrived in war. One Valkyrie admiral said it best before Earth's fleet destroyed his flagship. They are not conquerors. They are vengeance. The stars, once ruled by fear, began to whisper a new word. Humanity, the fall of the Valkyrie. The Terran coalition fleet emerged from hyperspace like a scar across the stars. 200 ships, human and alien, stood at the edge of Valkyrie space. Many were ugly, pieced together from scrap and desperation. But they were fast, armed, and filled with warriors who had nothing left to fear. On the bridge of the Unity's wrath, General Sophia Hart stood beside Dravari wing commanders and silent war strategists. Species that once had no words for hope now had a common one. Human. The target, Zol, the Valkyrie throne world. A planet of black stone towers, endless citadels, and the throne fortress where their emperors had ruled unchallenged for 10,000 years. No invader had ever reached it. Until now, the Valkyrie defense grid activated, surrounding the planet in a web of plasma batteries and dreadnoughts. But they were too late. The Terran fleet had come prepared. Earth's weapons didn't follow galactic rules. They didn't rely on elegance or energy signatures. They used old-school physics, kinetic slugs, nuclear mines, and planet killers repurposed from mining drills. The Hammerfall led the charge, smashing through a Valkyrie war barge in a suicide ram that split both ships in half. Behind it, swarms of automated drones filled space like locusts, overwhelming precision defenses with sheer chaos. And then the ground war began. Drop pods rained on Zol's capital, bursting open with multi-species strike teams. Valkyrie defenders fought with disciplined fury, but Earth's tactics were unpredictable, feral. Humans moved through war like they were born to it. They fought dirty. They took losses and kept moving. In the shattered ruins of the central fortress, Sophia Hart stood above the Imperial Council. Valkyrie nobles lay dead, their blood steaming on the marble floor. The Valkyrie Emperor, wounded and trembling, hissed in desperation. "You don't understand what you've done. We kept the galaxy in order. We brought control." Sophia leveled her rifle. "You called it peace, but we lived your order under boots. This is what unity looks like." She fired. At that exact moment, rebel fleets across the galaxy rose up. Word of the Emperor's death spread like fire. Oppressed worlds exploded into revolt. Valkyrie outposts were overrun, governors assassinated. Their empire, so vast, so absolute, cracked and then collapsed in days. Earth didn't claim the Valkyrie throne. We burned it. In the weeks that followed, the Galactic Accord was formed. A council, not of rulers, but survivors. Earth didn't demand tribute. We offered alliance, cooperation, freedom. One message, transmitted across every system once held in chains. We were once broken. We united. You tried to erase us. But one planet stood, and the galaxy fell. And in the silence that followed the last battle, from the ashes of empire, something new began. Not an empire, not a dominion, a future.